Welcome to Springfield Career Insights. Tonight, we speak to the young person who wants to start something, anything, but feels blocked by one obstacle: capital. In many communities, the belief is simple: no money, no business. But across the continent, thousands of young people are proving the opposite. They are starting micro businesses with skills, not savings, with customers, not capital, with courage, not connections. The truth is this: most successful small businesses did not begin with money. They began with a need, a skill, and a disciplined mindset. So we ask, how does a young person start a business when they have no money, no equipment, and no one to fund them? And what practical steps turn a simple idea into a small but sustainable income stream? To guide us through this empowering and practical conversation, we are joined by His Excellency Dr. Godfrey Gandawa, President of Springfield Research University, Architect of Education 6.0, and a continental voice on entrepreneurship, economic survival, and youth innovation. President, welcome.
Thank you, Doctor. At Springfield, we teach that entrepreneurship is not born from capital. It is born from creativity. A young person's first business is rarely built with money. It is built with skill, discipline, and the courage to start small. When we shift from waiting for resources to using what we already have, we unlock opportunities that were always within reach.
Thank you, Professor. President, many young people want to start businesses but feel blocked by lack of capital. Why is this such a common barrier?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people believe capital is the barrier because they only see the finished businesses around them. They see the shop, not the first customer. They see the brand, not the first idea. They see the office, not the first hustle. They see the success, not the beginning. And when you compare your starting point to someone else's middle, you feel disqualified before you even try. The second reason is fear. So capital becomes a convenient excuse to avoid the discomfort of starting small. If I had money, I would start. It sounds reasonable, but often it's fear wearing a financial mask. Fear of failing, fear of looking small, fear of being judged. Capital becomes the shield that protects them from trying. So the third reason is that many young people think business means buying something first: equipment, stock, branding, allocation. But most real businesses start with service, not stock, with skill, not capital, with solving a problem, not buying a product. Money becomes necessary later, not at the beginning. So the fourth reason is comparison. So social media has made entrepreneurship look glamorous. So everyone appears to be launching with perfect logos, perfect packaging, perfect marketing. Young people don't realize most of these perfect businesses are funded by parents, partners, loans, or silent investors. They think they are behind when in truth they are just seeing a filtered version of reality. So, and the deepest version and reason, Doctor, is this: young people underestimate the value of starting small because they underestimate the value of themselves. So they think capital is the magic, but the real capital is skill, discipline, consistency, creativity, reputation, relationships. So these are the things that build businesses long before money enters the story. So why is lack of capital such a common barrier? Could be the question. Because young people have been taught to wait for money instead of building momentum. So they have been taught to dream big but start big. And that is the trap. So the truth is simple. You don't need capital to start. You need capital to scale. And you can't scale what you have not begun.
Thank you, Professor. When a young person has an idea but no money, what is the first practical step they should take?
Thank you, Doctor. So when you have an idea and no capital, your job is to reduce the idea to its simplest testable form. Not the full business, not the grand vision. Just the smallest version that can show whether people actually want what you are offering. You see, if it's a service, offer it manually. If it's a product, create a basic sample. If it's a concept, test it with real people. If it's a skill, start using it immediately. So young people must understand this. You don't need money to start, you need proof. So proof that someone is willing to listen, proof that someone is willing to try, proof that someone is willing to pay. Once you have proof, everything else becomes easier. So people take you seriously, support becomes possible, and partnerships open up. So even small capital becomes easier to attract because you are no longer selling a dream. You are showing results. So the second part of the first step is learning the problem deeply. So talk to potential customers, ask questions, observe behavior. Understand the pain point better than anyone else, because the more you understand the problem, the less money you need to solve it. And here is the truth young people need to hear, Doctor. Ideas don't fail because of lack of capital. They fail because they were never tested. So start with the smallest action, start with the simplest version, start with the closest customer, start with what your hands can do today. So, because once you start, momentum replaces fear. And once momentum begins, capital stops being the barrier it once seemed to be.
Thank you, Professor. You often say start with what you have. What does that look like in real life for someone with very limited resources?
When we say start with what you have, Doctor, it simply means this: begin from your reality, not your fantasy. So a young person with limited resources doesn't need a grand plan. They need movement. Real movement, small movement, honest movement. So starting with what you have means using your skills before you use money. It means letting your hands work before your wallet works. If you can cook, teach, fix, design, write, organize, or create, that is already capital. Skills are the first currency of entrepreneurship. So it also means using your phone as your first office, your marketing tool, your research tool, your networking tool, your learning tool, before you ever rent a space. So your phone becomes your space. Starting with what you have means paying attention to your environment. So every complaint around you is a business opportunity. Every inconvenience is a gap. Every frustration is a market. You don't need money to notice problems. You need awareness. It means beginning with one person, one customer, one client, one person who believes in what you can do. If you can save one person well, you can save 10. If you can save 10, you can save 100. Momentum begins with the one, you see. It means using what is available, shared tools, borrowed equipment, community spaces, partnerships. You don't need to own everything to begin. You just need access, and access is often free. And above all, starting with what you have means starting imperfectly. That's starting quietly, starting humbly. starting without waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is a myth. The real message is simple. Starting with what you have is not about resources. It's about resourcefulness. It's about refusing to let your limitations silence your potential. It's about choosing action over excuses, progress over pride, and movement over fear. That is the heart of it. That is the conversation.
Thank you, Professor. President, how can young people identify business ideas that match their skills, not just trends?
Thank you, Doctor. So a young person finds the right idea the moment they stop asking what is everyone doing and start asking what can I do well, naturally, consistently, and without forcing it. Because the best business ideas don't come from trends, they come from talent, from ability, from the things you do effortlessly while others struggle. So a young person must pay attention to what people already come to them for, not what they post online, but what they ask in real life. So if people ask you to design something, that's a signal. If they ask you to fix something, that's a signal. If they ask you to explain, organize, cook, create, teach, or solve, those are signals. So business ideas hide inside the things people already trust you with. They must also pay attention to what energizes them. Trends drain you because they are borrowed. Skills energize you because they are yours. So if you enjoy doing something even when no one is watching, that's not a hobby, that's a seed. And then there is the environment. Your skills must what? Meet a need, not a global need, but a local one. What are people around you struggling with? What are they complaining about? What are they paying for already? When your skill meets a real problem, you have a business. So young people must understand this. Trends expire, skills compound. So trends make you chase, skills make you build. Trends make you copy, skills make you unique. So the right business idea is not out there in the noise. It's inside you see, waiting for recognition. And the moment a young person stops chasing the world and starts studying themselves, clarity arrives. Your gift is the blueprint, doctor. Your skill is the foundation. Your environment is the market. Your consistency is the engine. That is how you find an idea that fits your hands, your mind, your story, not the trend cycle.
Thank you, Professor. President, what are the most affordable types of businesses young people can start today?
Thank you, Doctor. So affordable businesses are the ones that you grow from, or that grow from your hands, your mind, your environment, and your ability to solve problems, not from your bank account. So they are the businesses that start with service, not stock, with effort, not equipment, with consistency, not capital. So a young person can start with what they already know how to do. That's if you can cook, I said, you can start small from your kitchen. If you can design, your laptop or a phone becomes your studio. If you can teach, your voice becomes your product. If you can fix things, your skill becomes your workshop. If you can organize, your mind becomes your business tool. So affordable businesses also come from solving everyday problems around you. So people always need the help with cleaning, tutoring, errands, repairs, content creation, social media management, hair, makeup, photography, gardening, or simple digital services. These are not glamorous, but they are real, you see. They are needed, they are profitable, and they require almost no capital to begin. Most affordable businesses are also the ones that start manually. Before you buy equipment, you use what you have. Before you rent a space, you use your home. Before you hire people, you become the first employee. Before you scale, you prove. And here is the truth young people must understand. The cheapest business to start is the one built on your skill, your consistency, and your willingness to begin small. Trends will tell you to chase what looks big, but your future will grow from what you can do today. With your hands, your mind, your phone, your environment, and your discipline. Affordable businesses are not about money. They are about movement. And once you move, the world starts opening.
Thank you, Professor. Let's take a break and listen to our gospel song, The Storm Will Not Have Me.
The winds were loud around me, and the waves rose like a wall. I felt the darkness pulling, trying hard to make me fall. But in the chaos of the waters, in the roar of fear and night, I heard your voice above the thunder. Child, I'm holding you through this fight. The storm will not have me, for you are my peace. The waves will not drown me. Your hand is holding me. No shadow can claim me. No darkness can defeat. The storm will not have me. Your presence
let's continue with our discussion. Some young people believe businesses requires perfect conditions. How can they embrace imperfect beginnings?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people must understand that every business they admire today began in chaos, not in comfort, in uncertainty, not clarity, in small rooms, not perfect offices, in trial and error, not flawless execution. Perfection is a myth, Doctor, and waiting for it is a trap. To embrace imperfect beginnings, a young person must first accept that movement creates clarity, not the other way around. You see, you don't figure out everything before you start. You figure things out because you started. The path reveals itself step by step, not all at once. So they must also give themselves permission to be beginners. Beginners make mistakes, Doctor. Beginners learn slowly. Beginners adjust. Beginners grow. There is nothing weak about starting small. The weakness is in refusing to start at all. Imperfect beginnings also require humility. The humility to use what you have, the humility to start with one customer, the humility to learn publicly, the humility to build quietly, the humility, and humility is not a downgrade, Doctor. It is the foundation of mastery. And then there is courage, not the loud, dramatic courage of movies, the quiet courage of showing up even when you are unsure, the courage to try, the courage to fail forward, the courage to keep going when the world is not clapping yet. Young people must realize this. The beginning is supposed to be messy. The beginning is supposed to be imperfect. The beginning is supposed to feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a sign that you are doing it wrong. It's a sign that you are doing it. The truth is simple, Doctor. Perfect conditions don't create success. Movement does. Consistency does. Learning does. Courage does. If a young person can embrace the beauty of an imperfect start, they unlock a future that perfection could never give them. So, because greatness is not born in perfect conditions, Doctor, it is born in brave beginnings.
Thank you, Professor. President, how can young people avoid being scammed by business opportunities that promise quick success?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people must understand that real opportunities don't seduce you, they inform you. Scams on the other end don't offer clarity. They offer excitement, they offer agents, they offer fantasy. And fantasy is the most expensive currency in the world. So the first protection is recognizing that anything promising faster results is already suspicious, Doctor. Real businesses takes time, real growth takes patience, real success takes consistency. If someone says you will make money immediately, they are not offering a business. They are offering a bait. Young people must also learn to interrogate the opportunity, not the dream. Ask who is behind it. What is the actual product? Where is the money really coming from? Why is the return guaranteed? How does the business survive without real customers? Scams collapse under questions because they are built on emotion, not structure. Another protection is understanding your own emotional triggers, Doctor. Scammers don't target your logic. They target your hope, your desperation, your desire to escape struggle, your fear of being left behind. So when you know your emotional weak points, you stop letting strangers weaponize them. Young people must also check for proof, not performance. Screenshots are not proof. Testimonials are not proof. Lifestyle displays are not proof. Proof is documentation. Proof is transparency. Proof is a real product, a real service, a real track record. And here is the deepest protection. If you cannot explain the opportunity in simple, clear language, you have no business joining it. Confusion is the scammer's favorite hiding place. If you don't understand it, don't touch it. Young people must remember this truth. The real opportunities don't rush you. The real opportunities don't pressure you. The real opportunities don't manipulate you. If it feels so perfect or too perfect, it's a trap. If it feels too urgent, it's a trap. If it feels too magical, it's a trap, doctor. Protect your future by choosing clarity over excitement, patience over pressure, and wisdom over shortcuts. Because shortcuts don't lead to success, they lead to regret.
Thank you, Professor. President, how can young people use social media as a free marketing tool without falling into vanity metrics?
So thank you, Doctor. So young people fall into vanity metrics because social media rewards noise, not value. So likes feel like progress, views feel like success, followers feel like customers, but none of these things pay the bills. Listen, none of them build a business, none of them guarantee impact. To use social media as a real marketing tool, a young person must shift their focus from attention to connection, from how many people saw this to who did this help, from how do I look to what problem am I solving. When your content is built on service, not performance, vanity metrics will lose their power. They must also understand that consistency beats virality. Virality is luck, consistency is a strategy. So a business grows when people trust you, and trust is built through showing up with value, not showing off with aesthetics. So young people should create content that teaches, solves, explains, demonstrates, or inspires. Content that positions them as someone who understands their craft. Content that makes people say, this person knows what they are doing. That is marketing. Everything else is decoration. And here is the truth. Your audience is not the whole world, doctor. It is the small group of people who need what you offer. If 10 people engage deeply, that is more valuable than 8,000 people scrolling past. So depth beats with impact, beats impressions. Young people must also protect themselves from comparison. So social media is full of polished success stories, but business is built in the unpolished hours. If you measure your progress by someone else's highlight reel, you will always feel behind. Focus on your lane, focus on your growth, focus on your customers. And finally, doctor, the deepest truth is social media is a tool, not a mirror, not a scoreboard, not a measure of your worth. Use it to communicate, not to compete. Use it to serve, not to impress. Use it to build relationships, not to chase applause. When young people approach social media with intention, discipline, and clarity, it becomes the most powerful free marketing platform they will ever have. Not for vanity, but for value.
Thank you, Professor. Let's take a break and listen to our gospel song, The Sound of Returning.
The shadows, carrying the weight of what I've been, but mercy started whispering, calling me back home again. I felt the pull of heaven, like a river in my bones. My spirit heard the footsteps of the one who calls me home. kept on crawling with a soft, familiar song. You rewrote all my failures, oh, turned my ashes into flame, and now I'm running freely, oh, to the one who knows my name. Every burden starts to loosen, every chain begins to break. There's a rhythm in redemption, and my heart begins to wake. This is the sound of returning, the heartbeat of coming home. Grace is singing over me, child, you're never on your own. Iron angels will guide you home. Your arms are wide and waiting. Your light is gently burning. My spirit knows the sound of returning. I hear the echo of your promise. I feel the warmth of your embrace. You never moved, you never left me. You were standing in this place. I rose from waters deep, carrying the crowd you placed beneath the waves. A miracle waiting in the dark, now shining in your grace. Now every step is resurrection, every breath a brand new song. I'm restored by your compassion, I'm returning where I belong. This is the sound of returning, the heartbeat of coming home. Grace is singing over me. Hey, child, you're never on your own. Iron angels will guide you home. Your arms are wide and waiting. Your light is gently burning. My spirit knows the sound of returning. Hey, Yabuya Baba, Ekaya Lami Lechu. Yabuya Baba, Ekaya Lami Lechu. Yabuya Baba, Yabuya Baba.
Welcome back. Let's continue with our discussion. What are the most common mistakes first-time entrepreneurs make when starting with no capital?
Thank you, Doctor. So the first mistake young entrepreneurs make is trying to look successful before becoming successful. They want branding before customers, logos before value, a perfect image before a working product. So they spend energy performing entrepreneurship instead of practicing it. You see, business is built in the doing, not the decorating. So another common mistake is starting too big. They want the full vision on day one. The shop, the equipment, the team, the packaging. But when you have no capital, the only sustainable beginning is a small beginning. You see, start with the smallest version of the idea, but still works. Small is not a downgrade, it is a strategy. Young entrepreneurs also fall into the trap of waiting for motivation. They think they need to feel inspired to work, but entrepreneurship is not powered by excitement. It is powered by discipline. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never build momentum, doctor. Another mistake is building in isolation. They hide their ideas, avoid feedback, and fear criticism. But isolation creates blind spots. You need people who can challenge you, guide you, and help you see what you cannot see. So silence is expensive. Feedback is free. A big mistake is chasing trends instead of solving problems. Trends fade, problems remain. So if your business is built on trend, it dies with the trend. If it is built on problem, it grows with the problem. So many young entrepreneurs also undervalue their time and overvalue shortcuts. So they want quick results, they want overnight success, they want the hack, the trick, the secret formula. But shortcuts don't build businesses, they build disappointment. Consistent build businesses, doctor. And perhaps the deepest mistake is fearing small beginnings. So they think starting small means they are insignificant. But every giant company you admire today began in a small room with small tools, serving a small number of people. Small is where mastery is born. Young people must understand this truth. When you have no capital, your behavior becomes your capital. Your discipline becomes your capital. Your skills become your capital. Your consistency becomes your capital. So avoid the traps, embrace the grind, build from what you have, and let your small beginnings become your powerful foundation.
Thank you, Professor. President, how can young people build trust with customers when they are new and unknown?
Thank you, Doctor. So a young person builds trust by showing up with seriousness, even when they are small. People don't trust you because you are big. They trust you because you are dependable. If you say you deliver at 10, deliver at 10. If you promise quality, give quality. If you commit to a standard, protect that standard. Professionalism is the fastest way to look established even when you are just beginning. Trust also grows when you communicate clearly. Most young entrepreneurs lose customers not because they are bad, but because they are silent. Silence creates doubt. Updates create confidence. Tell people what you are doing. Tell them when it's ready. Tell them if there is a delay. Transparency is more powerful than perfection. Another way, doctor, to build trust is to let your work speak before your words do. Show samples, show results, show testimonials from even one or two people. Show the process, show the effort. People trust what they can see, not what they are told. A young entrepreneur must also start with excellence, not excuses. When you are new, you don't have a reputation to protect you. Your work is your reputation. So every customer is a billboard. Every delivery is a message. Every interaction is a seed. Treat every small job like it's your breakthrough. And here is something young people often overlook, doctor. Trust grows when you care, when you listen, when you respond, when you treat people with respect, when you make them feel valued, not used. People don't remember the product first. They remember how you made them feel. But the deepest truth is this, doctor. Trust is built through consistency, not charisma. Through reliability, not hype. Through integrity, not image. You don't need to be famous to be trusted. You just need to be dependable. You just need to be honest. You just need to be consistent. If a young person can master these three things, they will never remain unknown for long.
Thank you, Professor. Some young people feel discouraged when their business grows slowly. How can they stay motivated?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people lose motivation because they expect progress to be loud. They expect applause, they expect visible results, but a business doesn't grow fast like that. It grows the way a seed grows. Underground first, unseen first, silent first. The work is happening even when the evidence is not. So a young entrepreneur stays motivated by remembering why they started, not how fast things are moving. So speed is emotional. Purpose is stable. When you anchor yourself in purpose, slow seasons stop feeling like punishment and start feeling like preparation. They must also learn to measure the right things, not likes, not followers, not noise. Measure improvement, measure consistency, measure customer satisfaction, measure the quality of your work. These are the metrics that predict real success. So another source of motivation is recognizing small wins. So a returning customer, a better design, a smoother process, a clearer message, a new skill. So these small wins are not small. They are the early signs that the foundation is forming. And when you celebrate them, your spirit stays alive. Young people must also protect themselves from comparison. Comparison is the thief of momentum. You don't know who funded the person you are comparing yourself to. You see, you don't know who mentored them, who supported them, or how long they have been building. So your journey is not late. It's yours. It is yours. And your purse is not slow. It is strategic. And here is the deepest truth, Doctor. Slow growth builds strong entrepreneurs. Fast growth builds fragile ones. You see, slow growth teaches patience. It teaches discipline. It teaches resilience. It teaches creativity. It teaches humility. It teaches you how to survive long after the excitement fades. If a young person can stay committed during the quiet seasons, they become unstoppable when momentum finally arrives. Because the journey is not about speed, it is about endurance. And endurance is what separates those who dream from those who build. So your slow season is not the end, it is a training ground.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's take a commercial break and stay tuned.
At Springfield Research University, we don't teach to pass exams, we encode futures. Grounded in Education 6.0 and powered by STEMA, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medicine and automation, we deliver modular, sovereign learning across undergraduate, master's and doctoral programs. Explore our prospectus, where every curriculum is designed to stematize every discipline, dignify local authorship, and credential transformative knowledge. Be stematized, be sovereign. Here, knowledge is authored, not borrowed. Curriculum is credentialed, not copied. Every graduate becomes an architect of transformation. With 2 annual intakes, March and September, the path to innovation is always open. From the logic of automation to the soul of indigenous intelligence, SRU is where tomorrow is designed. Springfield isn't just a university, it's an epicenter of epistemic dignity. Join the movement. Study where learning governs itself. Springfield Research University, the globe is here. Where are you?
Welcome back. Let's continue our discussion. What practical habits can help young entrepreneurs stay organized and focused?
Thank you, Doctor. So, a young entrepreneur stays organized by treating their day like a mission, not a gamble. Not I will see what happens, but I know what I am doing, why I am doing it, and when it must be done. Clarity is the first form of organization, Doctor. They must begin each day with intention, not a long to-do list, just the top 3 things that actually move the business forward. When you focus on everything, you finish nothing. When you focus on the essential, you create progress. So another powerful habit is creating structure around their energy. So some people think clearly in the morning, some think clearly at night. Some work best in silence, some work best in motion. When you understand your rhythm, you stop fighting yourself and start flowing with yourself. So young entrepreneurs must also learn to close loops. Unfinished tasks drain the mind. Unanswered messages drain trust. Unclear plans drain motivation. When you finish what you start, even small things, your mind becomes lighter, sharper, more focused. They must protect their environment, Doctor. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. A noisy cycle creates a noisy spirit. A distracted room creates a distracted entrepreneur. So your environment is not decoration, it is a strategy. And then there is the habit of reflection. 5 minutes at the end of the day to ask, what worked today? What slowed me down? What must I adjust tomorrow? So reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, you repeat mistakes. With reflection, you refine your path. But the deepest habit is this, Doctor. Do the important work before the urgent work. Urgent work shouts, important work whispers. Urgent work keeps you busy, but important work builds your future. When a young entrepreneur learns to prioritize, to simplify, to focus, to reflect, and to protect the environment, they stop surviving the day and start directing it, Doctor. And that is when organization becomes a habit and focus becomes a superpower.
Thank you, Professor. President, how can young people deal with family members who don't believe in their business ideas?
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. So young people must first understand that family doubt is usually fear, not malice. Most families are not trying to kill the dream. They are trying to protect the dream. They fear instability, they fear disappointment, they fear watching you struggle in a world they know is unforgiving. So their no is often love wearing the wrong outfit. A young person must also learn to separate validation from guidance. You see, you don't need approval to begin, you need clarity, you need discipline, you need evidence. Your family's belief is helpful, but it is not the oxygen, you see. Your dream can breathe without it. So the most powerful way to deal with family doubt is to show progress instead of arguing for it. Don't debate, don't defend, don't perform, just work. Let your consistency speak. Let your results speak. Let your growth speak. People trust what they can see, not what they are told. Young people must also learn to communicate their vision with maturity, not emotionally, not defensively. Explain the plan, explain the steps, explain the risks, explain the strategy. When you speak like someone who has thought deeply, you shift the conversation from fantasy to responsibility. And here is something many young people forget, Doctor. You can love your family and still choose your path. You can respect their fears and still follow your calling. You can honor their voice without surrendering your own. So sometimes you must walk quietly until the results start making the noise, not in rebellion, not in anger, but in a steady, disciplined progress that proves your intention. So the deepest truth is this: family doubt is not a prophecy, it is a challenge to grow, a challenge to focus, a challenge to build a future that even they will one day respect. So your dream does not need unanimous support. It needs your commitment, your courage, and your consistency. And when you rise, because you will, the same family that doubted you will become the first to tell the world, we always knew.
Thank you, Professor. President, what advice would you give to a young person whose first business attempt has already failed?
Thank you, Doctor. A young person must understand that the first attempt is supposed to be messy. So it is supposed to expose what you didn't know. It is supposed to humble you, sharpen you, and prepare you. No one gets it right the first time. Not the giants, not the legends, not the icons. The first business is rarely the breakthrough. It is the training ground. You see, the most important thing is not the failure. It is the interpretation. If you see failure as rejection, you stop. If you see failure as information, you grow. And growth is the real victory. So a young person must sit with the experience and ask, what worked? What didn't? What did I misunderstand? What did I overestimate? What did I ignore? What did I learn about myself? So this reflection turns pain into wisdom, Doctor. They must also remove shame from the equation. Shame kills more dreams than failure ever will. There is nothing embarrassing about trying. There is nothing shameful about learning. There is nothing weak about starting again. And here is the truth many young people don't realize. Your second attempt is always smarter than your first. Your third attempt is always stronger than your second. Your growth compounds. So the young person must also rebuild slowly, not with pressure, not with panic, not with the need to prove anything to anyone. Rebuild with clarity, rebuild with patience, rebuild with the wisdom the first attempt gave you. And finally, doctor, they must remember this. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. So every entrepreneur who ever built something meaningful has a graveyard of failed attempts behind them. What separates those who rise from those who disappear is simple. They keep going, they keep learning, they keep believing. So your first business failed, but you did not. You are wiser now, you are sharper now, you are more prepared now. Begin again, begin better, begin with the strength that only experience can give.
Thank you, Professor. Finally, President, what is your message to every young person dreaming of entrepreneurship but feeling limited by their financial situation?
Thank you, Doctor. So young people must understand that money is not the starting point of entrepreneurship. Mindset is. Money builds structures. Mindset builds movement. And the movement is what creates opportunity. So every great entrepreneur began with a limitation. Some lacked the money, some lacked the support, some lacked the education, some lacked the networks. But they all had one thing in common. They started anyway. A young person must stop seeing their financial situation as a prison and start seeing it as a training ground. When you build with nothing, you learn resourcefulness, you learn creativity, you learn discipline, you learn resilience. These are the qualities that money cannot buy and the qualities that money alone cannot replace. So your financial situation is not a verdict. It is a season, and seasons change. Start with your skills, start with your environment, start with your phone, start with your hands, start with the people around you, start with the problems you can solve today, start with the smallest version of your idea. Start with what you have, because what you have is enough to begin. Young people must also understand that capital follows proof. People invest in movement, not intention. They support what they can see, not what they are told. If you can show consistency, value, and progress, even on a small scale, resources will find you. And here is the deepest truth I want everyone, every young person to carry. Your dream is not disqualified by your financial situation. Your dream is only disqualified by your refusal to start. You are not behind, you are not late, you are not excluded. You are simply at the beginning, and beginnings are supposed to be humble. Build with what you have, grow with what you learn, rise with what you become. Your financial situation may limit your options, but it cannot limit your potential. Your potential is bigger than your pockets. Your future is bigger than your circumstances. And your dream is still valid, powerfully, fully, unapologetically valid. Thank you, Doctor, for having me.
Thank you, President, for showing that entrepreneurship is not born from capital, but from creativity, courage, and discipline. Your message empowers young people to start where they are with what they have. To our audience, if you are ready to turn your skills into income and your ideas into enterprise, Springfield Research University invites you to join a community where entrepreneurship is cultivated. Visit www.springfieldresearchuniversity.net to begin. This brings us to the end of tonight's edition of Springfield Career Insights. May your creativity open doors that money cannot. I'm Clarence, your host.
The street, Genjabulo, Sitlomeli, Mpilo, Leintle, Lena. Hey, hey, siyakubuka, tikiti lefu Tanzalunga kiwa. Hey, hey, siyakubuka, sonke siyavumelana, ngemjululo muhle sonke similela. Hey, hey, siyakubuka, tikiti lefu Tanzalunga kiwa. Hey, 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 siyakubuka, sonke siyavumelana, ngemjululo muhle sonke similela.